Three poems today. Yeah. I'm just going to make a brief statement, and that is, to me, poetry is the act of the sapient bequeathment of all possible kaleidoscopic in involutions and prostrated evolutions of all the tectonic plates that shapeshift into philosophical premonition. All right, let's see. First poem is going to be today. It is called the fantastic and fabulous phantasmagoria of the blue Sasquatch. From a rubber neurological sheath of gargantuan windows, where Hannah Rent is a mind-juicing vending machine which bruises the Camelot in the hotel hallways that ride up to Hilbert's Hotel and the rubbery skyscrapers in the bathtubs, where all the folkloristic giraffe cowboys dance in an omni god of kaleidoscopic Jinn and Gehenna. As this coppery behoovement of this margarita somehow spoofing the Hegelian Geistline pine ochres, which spectator the Colosseums, somehow stereophonically smacking these Rosicrucian Heidelbergian soaked alchemia of all this neuropsychological Sicilian defense, weaving its moonstones through the diatonic hips of the basket woven arc serifs, the belfry, the homunculus Aphrodite, boot lapis lazuli spaghetti, and which somehow ferociously leaps into the hideaways of the toothpaste goddesses, leaking through the carboneras and carbonations of these celestial headdresses. As the Dracula's eyebrows are wind jammed, stuffed to the greases with purple dragon spinster almanacs. And as this beautiful mouthed Klondike is belting the tubers of the possible world autocephalide and hematoid cul-de-sac, as this hallucinatory umbrella-faced werewolf is burkaizing its benzene upon the igneous grenadines, which tambourine this bodhisattva limousine through the rustling plastic Ouroboros action figure Halloween provocateurs, as this yoginic Robinson Crusoe ascends into the Himalayas, built with toothpaste aglow, as this underwear bronzen Nietzsche's Camelot, dancing into the cyborgs with their headdresses of cornflower ignots, as his computer room becomes the Andalusian Emily Dickinson prairie wind of metamorphosizing wildflower loquacious grasshoppers with their suits and tuxedos embering the anthropoid copper, as his outer space astronaut is suctioned to by the Philistines' tungsten madronis, cisternizing the network of solipsistic cellophane padronis, as this mine catacombs the tattooed gorgons with their snapping hooded sphinxian mandolins, which would snap into the subtropical subliminals, which container the predestinarianism of the netopsychic floorboards, shackling the Nozikian dream simulation of the simple gates, which wormhole into the funerals of all the triumvirate Bristols, as the sheepdog with its antediluvian spidery tarantula-faced deificational Celt, becomes the millenarian Bohemianism, Spigot and Gippon, the geniocracies and kakistocracies, which honeysuckle the slobberin Normandy, as this Christian Bodhisattva goddess, worm jams the whippers, which chorophobically gasconade the Saucony Isadora Milky Jagger, as his goggle granulations which grab it, the Gipper, somehow bobbling of all the Babylonians between the Shaw TV and consolidated credit between the Gipper of all these luminoids of sempiternal, multifarious maledictions of the metal-y fernies, redwood bark Orioleisen and Oricisen their imaginary numbers into the splendorous rain showers of all the umbrella-faced, beautiful buttocks, starry-scape-headed vampires. Now the second poem. A briefer one. As this beautiful sundown, where all the Megarian Morganians are tuberin the Lancelot, as the skyscraper is the lesbian cul-de-sac, which bungalows the fianchettos of this bootstrap, as this wildflower blipstracts the bygone corollas of these statues of the Bronzian breast of all the Nerophiles at Horseshoe Bay. Salutations to this cobblest floristic skylight, siderealizing into the geometric orison, which bulbils the hooded jamboreens and jacindas which are ejaculated into the tangiers and vulcanizations, which Lardius, the buttresses, which cathedral, these moss-eyed peregrinations, which orgasmically organoid, this organon of this Gorgon's banacled pulverization of a quadrillion wormholes, Bulbulin, the Sphinxian mechatronics of all these cross Israelites, which eroticism, the cedar ochre's frontal lobotomy of this mathematicism of the driftwood hypocrisy and apostasies, as is Methuselian revelation are all the warthog faced starlight climbing up the stairway to Scrabble heaven, as this obsidian marshland galvanizes the galvanizer of all this dizzyment zebroid prosaicment, as these beautiful shamrocks kiss the neon jaded Pegasus enclave of all the Neptunian Pananopolis, as this harmonica is the adrenal gland for all the glossological hooded pataphysical Sufism of this neon psychedelic technicolor birdhouse, Omnisphere and the Mockingbirds, which transfigure their occentalizers for these amneistic Pyramidian Europygias, which quailically intranautically are the admonizing monolithic Megaria, as is vibraphone, anti-vibrationally doomiest, the boat's careened bungalow of the expungement of all these blood cries, blood mobiling the labyrinth's caravan, where all the stuffed Sasquatches and Pediclean, the fountains of Sphinxian Jetsam, as all these armadillo-faced Zelkon priestesses dance in the submarine circle, where all the hooded statues are glisten of the pine ochre resin of Mount Robson's year 9000, far future Guinness 10,000 year lease Kananaskis. And the final poem. This poem is called "Beautiful Gorgons Dance into the Kaleidoscopic surliminal surreal numbered Pythagorean altars." Phosphorescent semicircles of 2011 were for Kant's Critique of Pure Reason and Susan Hack are the absinthian cortex, which salients the putrescent pulchritudinous gilded ham skins, which cornucopia the taliesin of all these wildflower boomkins, which somehow rhodosphere, the motorcycle, and of all the itivolvic stacks of umpulizin, and all this anti-marvelous hillocks, the pneumatoid homunculization, but psychometrically, so solidifying the Carafago, handcuffing the fruition on all these wormholes to cardinalizing the taliswoman of Taliesin as these junkards of the sempiternal wolverines and aardvark and anteater poetesses. The humankind is the Gehenna calligraphication that somehow androgenizes and gynocentricizes this geneocracy before Bugs Bunny riding the starry-quaked and starry-scaping Zamboni through the pantaloons twisted on the Eucharistic frostbitten Jacindas upon the Zelicano Zapatio-sizing Latin America confabulations. As this intentionalism and invocation to panpsychic anti-realism is all the arguments for abstracta marching into the tangrams and octangulations before this omnigrammaton and tetragrammaton between the bodhisattva rearing upon the pulverizations of this beautiful Amitabha and beautiful quantum Egyptological anti-metaphysica. Before all the Principia Mathematica, Bobbyist woodcocks and wood tones, which obsidian the pine resin madrone and hedge for this hedonic obscurantist glamorization of concave, as is vanity, Paracelsus, the stalagmites of torpidity and tetanizers, which northern light, the aurora, confabulate in its cascaded verbiage through all the glowworms which tintillate the tarantulas, breathing the logomachiatic covey of neon technicolor Wolverine Gnosticians, which ideationally turn the rhodospheres through all the possible world televisions, which cryptogametically become the Peladami of all these beautiful miniaturizations of Sappho and Hypatia and Aristotle sitting around on the campground in the backyards of the beautiful Dendromancer and the far future utopian dynasty kakistocracy. Thank you so much. It's really all right, an honor.